Hey guys, welcome to the stream. It's Tuesday night and we're going to look at, well, earlier on we were firing our bow and arrow, which was all well and good. And we were hitting and killing our animals because we're huntery person, and boom. Now that's a bit weird, right? Because I took out the impulse of our arrow earlier. Has it reappeared? No. So that's a bit weird. We shouldn't be adding an impulse to the things we hit. Right? Now that is strange, which suggests that those two animals are set up differently. So what we need to do first is check these two animals to see how the physics are set up. Okay? Hey generic NPC, how are you? I take it you haven't seen the hunting before. And the arrow cam. So we're looking at our animals, and the deer and, well, let's have a look at both of them. BP stag. Let's have a look at our physics, shall we? And it's going to be part of the mesh. Okay. 0, 0, enable gravity, replicate physics, apply impulse on damage. No. Okay, so that was for the stag, even though the stag was acting correctly. Oh yeah, there's more to this game than you know, generic NPC. It's just, if I'm working on something, I might be, you know, a couple of days on something else. And basically, the problem with this stream is you never get to see the game because I'm always working on something. I do show things now and again, but right, so we've got same settings here. We'll say add impulse, no. And we'll leave it at that. Now, the thing that's bothering me at the moment is the footsteps. Right, because the footsteps were working where they... Okay, let me explain. The AI is set up that the animals have two sets of AI, or perception, right? They can see and they can hear, right? So when I walk, especially this close to them, they should immediately run away, okay? Which they're not doing. And they're not doing it even if I walk in front of them, right? So it looks to me that there's something went wonky with our animal AI for some reason. Okay? But what we can do is we can kind of run far away, right? So we get a better view of our thing. So if, right, not gyro, aim. And blam. Now, interesting. That's not acting. These aren't acting as they should. And you'll notice that I did add or take away the impulse. So I'm going to add that back in. Okay, now the thing is, we don't want it. Physics transform. No, they're going to be scared, right? Like most animals are of humans. Right? So basically you're going to have to sneak up on them, or they're just going to run away, which they were doing. But for some reason, some kind of a change has basically upset their AI perception, right? So I'm going to check that in a second. We'll check out their behaviour tree. Now it looks like there's something went really wrong with their behaviour tree, right? Because they shouldn't just stand there. They should be like doing different things. Now it's not 100% correct yet, but they should have some kind of basic behaviour, right? They shouldn't just stand there like that, right? See how the goat eats them? That's what they should be doing, right? That's what they should be doing, right? See how they're going down and getting up, and this is what they should be doing, okay? Now, when I move, they should run, okay? Right? They should be able to see me, right? Yeah, something like that. It's like if you move slower, then you're obviously not going to bother them. But if you walk up to them like, well, even then you won't get to walk up to them like that because they can hear better than that, right? Right, but in theory, these guys should be seeing me all the time here, and they just aren't. Okay? Which, as I said, this was all working, but for some reason it isn't anymore. Okay, so we've got our begin play, 2 seconds, right? We're going to bring that down to 1. There's not really much of a need for 2 seconds. Right, if it's the player, that's right. So either which way, we should be going down. Right, so basically if they perceive you, they should go to scared. And if they go to scared, they should basically run in the opposite direction to you, okay? But it looks like this isn't firing. So we need to fix that. Right, now. That's correct, okay? Well, that's interesting. Okay, we need to check out their behaviour tree now. Right, so they are scared. Okay, this is the interesting one. Now, is it something, have I updated this has target and that's the wrong thing? I don't know. Right, looks like we're going to have to stop this. And set a breakpoint. Okay, so we're setting their state to scared. We're setting their has. Yeah, it does all that. The problem is that it's not actually. I've not fleshed them out, but they do that, right? They eat, they graze the grass, then they chew it, they walk about. If they hear you at first, you know, they spring up and then run away. It's got all that, right? I've just basically to tweak the timers on everything to make it a bit more natural looking. But they do all what you're saying, right? It's already all there. Right? So, has target is set. So if this is set, this is the one that basically gets fired, right? And if we go to here and breakpoint, we're adding a new, we're setting a new status. So we're going to check on this one. Right. Sees the goat there, see the deer there was eating? And then they'll lie down and sleep and they'll sit down and rest. They'll do lots of things there. The stag will sit down and rest. And then he's back up. There's a few tweaks, but the basic stuff is there. There he's eating. Now he's chewing. He's eating again. He's chewing. He's went down to sleep. So this is all the stuff that we want, right? Now, here we go. This is what we want. Now, he has spotted me. And that's 4. Now, what is 4? That's the question. And I'm going to guess that that's 4. Okay. And so we're going to, right, he's lost. And he's lost. We'll resume that. So it appears that they are actually spotting me. Okay. But they are not running away. So the thing here is, if we look at if we look at this enum, okay, 1, 2, 3, that's alerted. No, it's 4, so it's scared. Right? So, we've got idle, equal, short move, grazing, resting, alerted. Yeah, we have no scared. Right? We have no scared, that's the issue here. I must have set. Yes. So basically I set it to here. Okay. So this needs set to here. Then we're going to move this okay, and then we're going to duplicate that. Whoopsie. That's going to go there. Now, let me just check this for a second. Okay, that's fine. So we're not setting the status to short, we're just basically running away. So that goes to there. I'm still for Unity. Oh yeah, you stick with what you're used to, stick with what you're comfortable with. No argument with that. At all. At all. This is when it annoys the crap out of me. Okay, we'll just get these moved into position, then we'll test them out. These are going to get expanded on because obviously the sleeping, eating, blah 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 blah. We want these, like the getting up and the sitting down is far too fast, so we're going to slow that animation down in the animation blueprint and stuff, just to make it that much more realistic. Drag this down. drag. That'll do us. And then this is equal to scared. Okay. And that should basically run us in the opposite direction. Okay. Save that. Let's try it. Okay. Well, apparently they don't get scared. So, we'll check this. Add breakpoint. Is it ever going in here? Press play. It's going in there. Okay. So it's basically going in here when we get a target. Right, so the simple way to do this is just to basically do this. And take that out. Okay, and we'll disable this breakpoint for now. Okay. Save that. And there they go. That's what we'd expect. Okay. Right. I'm going to start fixing some of these. So let's have a look at some of the animations on these, right? And let's see if we can make it a bit better. Okay. So this is just a little bit of fun tonight. We're going to go to the meshes and we'll go to do the stag first, eh? Let's do the stag first. In fact, let's go to animations and do the get it from the animation stag. Right, so we want our anim graph. Okay, open that up. Right. So, what we want is like this resting, okay? That one's okay. Okay. It's actually this one getting back up. Okay, wait a minute. It's not that one. Right. Back to there. We want this one. Right. You'll see that's way too fast. Okay. So back to the blueprint. This play rate, let's say 0.25. Right, well for some reason that appears to do absolutely jack. Right. Now the other one is right, compile that. Okay, whatever. The other one is this one here. Blueprint. And this one should be 0.25 as well. Okay. So let's have a look at those. Hopefully this will be a bit better. Right, the head down thing is bad. Right, this thing here. So let's do 0.1. Okay. And then this one will do the same thing. Because maybe these are way just a super duper amount too fast, right? Right, so the getting down to sleep is good. Up, not so good. Right, so these might still be just far too fast, right? That's what I'm thinking here. This, the tune one isn't really that bad. Right? It's more of, okay, let me put it another way. It's more like the transition time to here, right? Blend settings. Okay, let's try and change these. Yeah, this is what we want. So blend from there to there. From here to here, 2 seconds. And from grazing to chewing should be the same, because grazing is down, chewing is up, right? So if we say 2 seconds to blend between these, this should work better. And I should be able to put the speeds back to what they should be. And he's basically pissed off. Now it's only the stag that's going to do what we want, right? So we want to keep an eye on our stag. The getting down from there is good. The getting up, not so good, right? Walking is good. I'm still thinking that's too fast. The walk speed's still too fast, right? Right, I'm going to stop that for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple more stags. I'm going to add a couple more stags. We're going to get rid of a couple of these. So that we've got a few of these to look at. Okay, so we've got a nice... there we go. Oh, that's better. Yeah. Right, the getting up is bad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set all these back to 1. Okay, so it's the blends in between that needs to be slowed down, not the actual animations themselves. Okay, makes sense. So basically what I'm saying here is when we're going down to rest, oopsie, when we're doing that, it's going to take 2 seconds. When we're doing that, it's going to take 2 seconds. When we're doing that, 2 seconds. When we're doing that, 2 seconds. Okay, so it's going to take its time. You can see there that that is working a heck of a lot better. Still too fast on walking though, so we're going to have to amend that. That's good. Aye, Tarkov, mate. Good. We're just working on some of the animations for the animals. And they are working a heck of a lot better. I'll let you see what I have done. I've only done it on the deer, so the deer isn't a good example now. Right, so what I'm going to show you is the doe. Okay? And I can apply this to each of our different animals. Right? And in fact, right, I'll spin them around a little bit. Right, so they won't be quite looking at us. But the thing to look out for is when they like go down to eat grass and stuff, right? That's what we're working on. The animations and the blending in between, right? So basically when they're bending down to eat, right, you'll know, and then when they basically, right, so that's not too bad when it goes down to rest, okay? But what we're interested in is, as usual, they're not going to do what we want them to do because they're set to random. There we go. Eating. But you'll notice some of the movements will be far too fast. Right, like that. Eating, up. Right? What we want them to do is do it nice and gracefully. Okay? So, we need to go in here and locomotion, and here we set this to 2 seconds blend time. Then this one the same, and this one the same, then this one same, this one same, this one the same, this one the same. Okay, so now they should take their time to actually bend down and it will look a lot better, basically. Right, he decided to sod off, and so is he. Right, when he gets up, yeah, that's better. Before they were just like instantly popping up, right? Without the 2 second blend time on between animations. Right, and there we go. That's better. Look at that, that's nice. That's a nice speed. Yeah, it's okay when you know how. I didn't know how about 10 minutes ago. I was changing the wrong things, but yeah, we're looking good. I'm going to close all them down. And then we are going to go to our farm animals and get the goat and do the same thing. Because it's pretty much got the same things. Okay, 2, 2. Do the same with this one, 2. That's a 2. Hi, Cassadell Gaming, how you doing, bud? Right, so this one's 2. We don't need to do it with alert because that's just their head position, so that's not a big deal. But any of the ones where like they sit down or stand up is the ones that we're really interested in. Okay, so in theory I can delete our does and copy our goats, and our goats should move a lot better now as well. They should be a lot more sort of realistic speed. Okay, we'll just make sure these are at the right height. We'll just add a few goats in like that, and then press play. And now our goats should do the right things at the right speed. You notice how they don't just suddenly jump up. Now the goats are, there we go. There they're eating. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Right, we're getting some nice animation there. Not too fast now. Come on, go down to sleep or something. Do something interesting. Now they've got about the right speed, by the way. Walking speed. There we go. Down he goes. Now before they were just popping up instantly, right? Whereas now they're getting up. Right, my first, all the way, right, there's two things I say here, right? Number one, I've got to ask you a question back, Cassadell Gaming, and that is, how much experience do you have in programming? Do you have programming experience out with gaming? Okay, that is usually what I'll ask somebody first, because at the end of the day, while blueprints are good and make it easy for you, you still need some sort of foundation knowledge of programming. Okay, for example, you need to know what variables are, you need to know what arrays are. You need to know what, conditional logic is. Like if-then statements, which converts into a branch in blueprints. You need to know what loops are, when to use a loop, right? Do-when loops, all sorts of loops, right? You need to have a sort of fundamental knowledge of programming to be able to do this, or basically you'll hit a wall, right? That's what will happen. You'll be able to do things with single objects, but as soon as you try to interact with, like, say, an inventory or something like that, you're going to be completely lost. Okay? So, as I said, where to start depends on where you're starting from. As I said, if you're starting from a programming where you know how to program, then you're off to a 50% start over everybody else, right? Because you've got that basic knowledge. Now, it doesn't matter what language it is, because as I said, it's just basic fundamentals of like variables, arrays, loops, conditional logic, blah blah blah, right? Now, the next thing I would say is, and I try to say to everybody, and I get fed up saying it, is make a menu. A fully functional menu in Unreal Engine, if that's what you're going to use. In fact, in any, if you're going to use Unity, Unreal, Godot, whatever, make a menu. A fully functional menu. I'm not talking about like a start and exit. I'm talking about a fully functional menu. Right? Because you learn a lot. You learn how to do widgets, which you're going to be able to take into your game. Okay? Because your game's going to use widgets as well. So you'll be completely... by the time you write a fully functional menu, you're going to be comfortable with a lot of concepts that you're going to use in your game. Okay? Right? If you have absolutely zero knowledge of programming, I would say go and watch a few YouTube videos on any language. You know, just programming fundamentals. What are variables? What are arrays? What are loops? What are conditional logic? That type of thing, right? Because, as I said, without it and without that foundational knowledge, you won't know how to manipulate things within Unreal Engine, right? And you won't know what tools are available to you to do certain things. Now, as I said, if you've got those fundamentals, then you know that you're going to be able to do loops. You're going to be able to manipulate arrays. You're going to know what arrays are and how to use them. Right, all that type of stuff. So if you're completely starting out, watch some videos on programming fundamentals, any language, because they're all the same, right? They'll go over the same things. The syntax might be slightly different, but fundamentally they're all the same. All languages use variables, all languages use arrays, all languages use loops, all languages use conditional logic, right? So you can't go wrong. And then, as I said, start on a menu, right? Because the other reason why I say start on a menu is, this is normally how I gauge people that I teach, right? When I tell them to go and make a menu and I show them a few things, if they never finish the menu, I don't spend any more time with them, right? Because I know they're never going to finish a game. If you can't finish the first part of a game, which is the menu, you ain't ever going to finish a game. Okay? Right, so I believe we have all of our stuff done as far as the animals go for the moment, right? We are happy with that. We have stuff going. We've got messages in Discord as usual. Right, so anyway, we're going to do a save all. Yeah, what I would say, Cassadell Gaming, is Join my personal Discord, link in description. That's where you can ask questions about Unreal Engine and I'm liable to answer it. Okay? For people needing help or DM me or whatever. Right? Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a quick cigarette. If you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. All the usual links in the description to Discords, Patreons, my previous game on Steam. And I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. Okay, folks, we're back. Right. The other thing you can do, Casadel Gaming, is to check out my videos on Unreal Engine basics. There's a few on the very basics of stuff, okay? And how they relate to your normal programming stuff. Okay, so what we were doing, the whole point of actually this stream was titled about attaching the arrow, but there's actually not much point. And well, there is and there isn't. I'll tell you why. Right? What happens is there's a bit of skullduggery goes on, right? A bit of what I would call game developers smoke and mirrors, okay? Let me explain it to you. Okay. When we shoot an animal, right, it's one thing. When it's lying on the ground and we skin it, it's another thing. Completely different thing, okay? We do a bit of smoke and mirrors where we put another object down in the exact same position that looks exactly like what we just shot, but it's actually an interactable item, okay? Now, the stag, when it's alive, in metaphorical logic, is not an interactable when it's alive. It only becomes interactable when we kill it. And basically what happens is we kill the animal, falls down dead, it spawns the interactable item and then basically destroys itself, right? Now, here's the thing. When we shoot the arrow, it shoots the metaphorical alive animal. Okay? And in theory, we could do it, right? We could do it, it's a possibility. But when we kill or destroy the animal actor, then we obviously destroy the arrow, right? Because the arrow, or do we? Yeah, we do, right? Because it's attached, right? We disconnect the camera from the arrow, but we don't. I'll have to have a look at that actually. But anyway, the point is that we want to basically kill the arrow at the same time as, or we're hiding the arrow at the same time as we hide this, okay? So basically, as you said, we're doing the old bait and switch, right? But the arrow is going to disappear when we shoot, when this actor disappears, okay? Now, here's the next point. In actual fact, we could leave the arrow until you've skinned it, okay? To make it as accurate as possible. But that has issues of its own. Because if you shot it in the leg, right, then obviously it might not die, right? But we're saying it's dead. So that's a bit of an issue, but we're going to have to work on that. But fundamentally, we want to go into our arrow, which is under hunting, right? And we want to see the effect when we attach the arrow, right? And I think it's actually not here. or it could be here. Not here. That's something else. Right, so it's actually in BP Wildlife, okay? Which might, no, that's not. Right, so we want to go to Wildlife and BP Wildlife, right? Which is the parent class, okay? And apparently that's not where we attach the arrow. Okay, so where are we attaching the arrow? I'm guessing we must be attaching it to each individual. Now we could do this. We might actually move this into the BP. It might be into BP Wildlife actually. Nah, it's not. Oh well, never mind. Let's see where this is. Okay. So, in here. Right. This is it here. Okay. So, at the moment, we're attaching it to a socket, right? But you don't need to attach it to a socket, right? And I think the socket is giving us a problem. Okay, so I'm going to remove that, and this is from the dough, right? We're going to do it away from the stag and the dough, right? We'll save that. So we'll try and shoot stags and does and see what this does. Okay. And that was interesting. Although not that interesting. Now you'll notice that they're actually not dying immediately, which they were before, which is bad. Now I'm just wondering if that is an effect of this, or something else. Okay, because this was working. Now the only thing I've changed here and as you see our arrow is basically throwing the model into orbit, okay, which is not so good. So we're going to do some stuff here. We're going to try some different settings on physics. Apply impulse on damage. Now we're not doing any damage. We're not doing any of that. Right, so this is weird. It's got to be said. We've not done anything. So I'm going to say apply impulse on damage, no. Right, now I think in the AI, right, we'll do that in a minute. What we'll do is we'll go back to our AI and to here And the only thing we've changed here is this. So this thing here on value change, we're going to jump both, okay? So and it's not ideal that they've went down to sleep, but we've hit the goat again. Now it did fall down dead, and that's still basically flying off into the ether. So we need we're going to do that. Do that. Right. And we'll shoot the goat again. I need to get rid of that bloody goat. And there we go. Okay. Oh, that's not good. We're nearly there. Right, where's that blooming goat that's always standing in the way? And where's the stags? We'll delete that and delete that. Press play. That's interesting. Alright, I think we need to reset these. You'll notice that one's fine. Yeah, these need reset. Did we hit that, or did we miss that, or did it fly in the air? I think we missed that. Or maybe we didn't. Maybe we need to check these. No, we definitely missed it. That goat got hit. The goat got it. Right, they're just flying straight through the doors. So there's something about the doors that isn't quite right. Okay. Ah, yeah, I need to refresh them. Right, so let's go to doe. That's the goat. Right. Go to doe. Go to there. Mesh. right? Physics don't apply, right? And then what we'll do is we'll remove all our animals, right? Now the question is, where in the heck is a, yeah, well, it's a stag there, but you'll notice that it's kind of weird. So yeah. So we'll bring them in properly again. Right. We'll press play. And for some reason, it seems that right, okay. Let's apply that again. Right. We'll delete that. Delete that. Okay. Make sure this is open. We'll save it. And what I'm going to do is in our BP arrow, right? We've got this collision. Okay, not that. Right. So see this mass in kilograms. Okay. I'm going to try that because basically it was hitting it where it was hitting it at a crazy speed plus with a crazy mass. So it was basically we were hitting it with a cannonball, right? Is the way I would describe that. Okay, so which is obviously not going to be good for a stag or any animal for that matter, to be fair. I'm going to delete that. What we want to do is hit it with a feather. So it basically doesn't do anything to it from a physics point of view. There we go. I don't even think about it now. Right. Okay. So that appears to me to be something to do with the camera. The camera is somehow still attached and it's lifting it up, even though it should be detached as soon as we hit something with it. Now let's try that again to see if we can replicate the result, right? You've always got to do this when you're testing stuff. See if you replicate the exact same result. Right, that one doesn't do anything. This one, I missed it. Right, we hit it that time. Right, now that is weird, okay? Now, is this because... Right, I'm going to delete these two out again. Right. We're going to change this. And I'm going to type in Google weight of a stag. $200 kilograms approximately. Okay. So where is our mass? Okay, so it's not in there. Right, here it is. So 200. Save that. Minimize that. Right. We're going to have our two stags. Press play. Now, I've already got little inklings of what the problem might be here. Right. Okay. I think I know what the problem is, guys. Now, they're standing in the grass. Okay. Let's not stand them in the grass. Let's stand them somewhere else. On the rocks. Okay. No, he goes up there. He doesn't go up on the rocks. Okay. Okay. Let's move this one onto the rocks. And let's make sure that they're on the ground. Okay. Now, if I am correct, it doesn't go up. That did go up. Right, so it's not that. Okay, I thought I had worked it out, but no. So, we're going to open our stag again. We're going to go to our mesh and let's say simulate physics for a laugh. Okay. Bring them up. That one there. We know it isn't based on the ground, right? We had an inkling it was, but it isn't. Right, now if we put on physics, it completely just fall through the ground. So we can't do that. Okay. Right, we're going to ignore radial impulse and radial force, just in case that, and we'll test that out. And, whoa, that's not a good idea. That's worse. What's going on with that? What's that? Oh, right, okay, it's just the way it looks. So we do not ignore radial and that. Okay. Is there anything else here that's screwing us up? .001. Right, I'm going to delete these out again. I never trust it to do this right. Right. Oh. Right, we need to have resting to jump out of there. Right, now the interesting thing is they didn't fall over. They didn't zoom up or anything. Both of them did not zoom up. Okay? Did there though. So it would appear their animations have got something to do with it as well. Right? So this is a bit strange. Do animations have some sort of weight on them? Right, that goes down. So if it was eaten, it fell down. Right, it dropped. But it didn't do it there. Okay. Now there is a rather cheaty way to do this, right? Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to fix the AI first, right? Okay, so that's not what I was talking about. So on value change both. On value change both. On value change both. On value change both. These are all set up properly. Right, because right, wait a minute. If we add a breakpoint here, right? And we add a breakpoint here. Okay. Now the interesting thing will be if they go down to rest, right? Does it change straight away? And there you go, it's set, right? Resume, so it falls straight down. Okay? Stop that. And it's actually not that we want to add breakpoint, add breakpoint, and we want to remove these breakpoints. Right, because it's just going to continue to break and break and break and break. Right, so that was okay. And both of them acted in the correct manner, which is weird. Now the interesting thing here is both of these are, wait a minute, right, okay. Hang on. Right, disable that. What I'm thinking here is it the dead animal and not the mesh that's actually going up in the air here, right? Or is it just a little glitch? Or is it that I can't aim? You see how that just didn't... That's weird. That is weird. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save all. Now, I have had issues in the past with certain AI behaviors, and sometimes just reloading your project will fix it. And sometimes, although we've done this a few times, is like replacing the actual AI controlled actors sometimes fixes it as well. But we have been doing a bit of that tonight, so I can't really say it's going to be that. We've done that too many times tonight for it to be that. So anyway, back to our test map. Press play. That's what we expect. That's what we expect. Right? So that's kind of good. As you can see, we've got our new interact. This is working well. So let's make sure we can still skin them. I don't believe this. It doesn't appear to have destroyed the animal. Okay, I think I know why. Right? Because earlier on, when we were actually changing this to instantly die, okay, I basically, this is actually, you know what, this is what's probably causing the problem. Right, so what I'm saying is this: when we were doing, or was it in here? No, it's not in here. It's in BP Master Wildlife. Right. So what we did was this. Okay. The countdown timer. Instead now we're doing this kill animal, which was basically here. Now what I should do is check that we're actually doing this and destroying ourselves. Okay, because we're no longer so in our behavior tree, right, this is the getting shot part. Right, so when you get shot, this is the this part, right? And now we don't really want this as 5 seconds. What we need to do is find out how long the animation time is, right? So we don't want this. Now we might need to change the animation blueprints for these to say to change from here. Right? So we're as well opening up the animation blueprint for our stag. So if we go to stag, right, we're setting it to is dead, which is fine, but we want to know how long this animation is. So death, it's 2.33 seconds. Okay, so in here we can basically say 2.4. Save that, press play. and we want to make sure that our animal is doing... Wow. Okay. Well, there's that. So when we're shooting it, we're not setting it immediately to is dead, and that's a problem. We're setting it to is shot. Okay. So it's not in there. Okay. It's in our blueprint here. In our arrow. But it isn't in our blueprint. It's actually in our arrow. Right. Hunting. Arrow. Right. So we're basically saying has been shot. Okay. And that's getting it from the other actor. Okay, so it must be either in the BP stag has been shot, so this should be duplicate, except it should be is dead. Okay, save that. So we start death timer, which is in AIC, which basically says kill animal. Right, and basically this can go because we've already done this, but we'll run it at this anyway. I'm thinking all the mixture of the code here, because we changed it from walking about for a few seconds to basically instantly dying, has thrown it off a bit. Okay, so that's exactly what we want. You'll notice though that, I mean, that's not such a bad thing, but we need to fix that so that it immediately dies. Okay, so a bit of progress on this. We've fixed up our animal animations a bit better, so they look a bit more sort of natural rather than twitchy. If you've enjoyed the stream, guys, hit like and subscribe, much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 PM Central. If you want to get in touch or join the chat, then join the Discord server. Links are in the description for both the Groenland, the game one, and my personal one. You can also support the channel on Patreon, and also my game on Steam, which is called FTD2 Tower Defense game, and it's on sale at the moment for $1. So thanks guys for watching. I shall catch you guys later. Bye bye for now.